Rain drummed softly against the narrow windows of the council house, each drop echoing like a quiet warning from beyond. Janet, the youngest daughter, stared into the dark, her eyes wide and waiting. The wallpaper seemed to breathe when the lights went out. From somewhere in the corner came the faint sound of tapping, steady, deliberate, too slow to be random. "Mum," she whispered, her voice trembling between fear and hope. The silence that followed was like a held breath. The wardrobe creaked open an inch, though no wind stirred. A chill crawled up her spine as the tapping stopped. Janet froze, her heartbeat pounding louder than the rain outside. The stillness was unbearable. Then, something whispered her name, not aloud but inside her head, cold and distant. She gasped and pulled the covers over her face. But even under the blanket, she could feel that someone was there. A soft thud echoed from under the bed. Then another. Then the sound of something dragging across the floorboards. The shadow beneath the wardrobe stretched further, darker, almost alive. It didn't move with the light. She gathered her courage, leaped out of bed, and ran to her sister Margaret. "Something's in my room," she cried. Margaret rolled over, annoyed until the dresser moved by itself. Both girls screamed. Their mother rushed in, flicking the light switch, but it barely flickered. The bulbs buzzed as if fighting against some unseen force. Furniture shifted again, slow but unmistakable. A heavy chair scraped across the floor toward them. Peggy, their mother, grabbed the girls and backed out of the room, but before she reached the hallway, the door slammed shut behind them. The banging began, 3 loud knocks, evenly spaced. Then silence. Downstairs, the family dog barked frantically at the empty stairway. Its tail was tucked, its body shaking. The clock on the wall stopped ticking at exactly 3:17 a.m. Every sound in the house vanished except for the storm outside. When morning came, the furniture was overturned, and toys were stacked in impossible balance atop the wardrobe. Peggy called the police, desperate for help. When the officers arrived, the house seemed calm until one of them saw a chair move. The chair slid 2 feet across the floor, slow and smooth, without a single sound. The officer went pale. He wrote in his report later, "I saw it move with my own eyes," but no one believed him at first. That night, Janet was too afraid to sleep. She sat up, staring at the wall where the tapping had started. A voice came from the corner, low, gravelly, male. It said her name again. Her mother burst in, shouting, "Leave her alone." The voice replied, "This is my house." Objects flew across the room, striking the walls. Books, cups, even a crucifix fell and shattered. The family fled to the neighbors, trembling and crying. No one knew what to do. The next day, reporters arrived. Cameras flashed. Questions poured, but the house remained still. That night, however, everything began again. Knocks, whispers, and a strange laughter that came from nowhere. Janet's bed lifted off the floor. Her body floated for a few seconds before crashing back down. Her mother screamed, clutching a cross to her chest. "God help us," she cried. The investigators set up cameras and recorders. They wanted proof of what was haunting the family. On the tapes, a deep, rasping voice was heard speaking through Janet. "I'm Bill," it said. "I used to live here." Experts confirmed the voice came from her, but her vocal cords were not capable of producing that sound naturally. Janet later said she felt something pushing through her, forcing her to speak. "He made me say it," she whispered. One investigator was scratched across the face by invisible hands. He fled and never returned. At 2:45 a.m., a toy fire engine rolled across the carpet and stopped at the foot of the bed. Its siren turned on by itself. The curtains twisted like ropes, forming knots in mid-air. The noise grew unbearable. Neighbors claimed to see lights flashing from the windows. Others heard screams echoing down the street. Even the local priest came to bless the house. The moment he began praying, the lights exploded. Janet fainted as her body rose again from the bed, her limbs stiff, her mouth whispering in another language. When she awoke, she had bruises on her arms shaped like fingers, but she swore no one touched her. The family tried sleeping downstairs, but the noises followed them. The taps, the whispers, the laughter, they never stopped. One night, the word help appeared scratched into the wall above Janet's bed. Peggy cried as she tried to scrub it off, but the letters wouldn't fade. Investigators documented it, all photographs, sound recordings, written logs. Still, no one could explain it. A psychic visited the home and said there were multiple spirits trapped inside. One was angry, one was confused. Janet said she could see them, shapes, faces, eyes watching from the corners. At times her voice changed mid-sentence. She'd laugh, then sob, then speak in a man's tone again. Doctors examined her, believing it was psychological, but their tests showed nothing abnormal. Even when Janet was taken from the house, strange knocks followed her to her aunt's home. When she returned weeks later, the house was quiet. Too quiet. Late that night, she heard footsteps pacing above her, but there was no one upstairs. The taps started again 3 at a time, just as before. The pattern never changed. "Mum," she said, "he's back." And from the hallway came the same deep laugh. A chair slid across the room and hit the wall. The impact left a mark that never faded. Neighbors began to avoid the family. Some said they saw figures in the windows when the house was empty. The haunting lasted for nearly 18 months. Every attempt to cleanse the house failed. By 1978, Janet appeared exhausted, her eyes hollow. She said she just wanted Bill to stop talking to her. Then, one night, everything stopped. No more tapping, no more whispers, just silence. The family moved out soon after, leaving most of their belongings behind. Years later, Janet was interviewed as an adult. She said, "It never really left me." She claimed she still heard knocking sometimes when she was alone. Always 3 times. The investigators who witnessed it also believed, some didn't, but none forgot. The police report remained open for years, marked unexplained disturbance. Neighbors swore they saw lights in the house long after the family left. The new tenants didn't stay long. Children walking by would run past it, whispering, "That's Janet's house." Inside, the furniture remained just as the family had left it. Dust gathered, but the feeling of being watched never faded. When one reporter revisited the house in 1980, he said he felt a cold breath on his neck while standing in Janet's old room. He turned around, but no one was there, only the faint sound of tapping. The story spread across the world, becoming one of the most documented hauntings in history. Skeptics called it a hoax, believers called it proof, but those who were there still hesitate when asked. "You had to see it," they say quietly. Janet herself admitted, maybe some of it was real, maybe some wasn't, but something was in that house. Even decades later, the recordings still exist. The voice of Bill, deep and hollow, speaking through a little girl, just passing through. It said, "This is my home." The experts who analyzed it couldn't recreate the sound, even using machines. Today, the house still stands, unchanged. Ordinary from the outside but heavy with silence inside. Visitors say the air feels colder there. Some swear they hear knocking as they walk past. Others say they feel a presence like being watched through the walls. At night, the streetlights flicker near the old house. Always around 3 a.m. Neighbors pretend not to notice anymore, but children still cross to the other side of the street. The story became legend, but for Janet it was never just a story. It was her life. She said the voice stopped when she turned 16, but sometimes, in her dreams, she still hears it whisper. "Bill Wilkins," it says, "I died in that chair. In the corner of your room, that chair is gone now, but the mark it left on the floor remains." Researchers still visit, recording, measuring, trying to find something science can explain. They leave with strange feelings, headaches, and missing time. The locals say the house doesn't like visitors. It remembers who belongs there. Sometimes, on stormy nights, people claim to see a light in Janet's old window. A shadow moves across it. No one lives there anymore, but the curtains still sway without wind. The story of Enfield is told again and again, but no one truly knows what happened. The tapes, the voices, the witnesses, they all agree on one thing. Something beyond explanation was there. Even the priest who visited said, "Evil is real. I felt it." The last recording captured Janet whispering, "He's gone." Then a man's voice replied, "Not yet." The tape cut out right after that. No one knows why. Years later, when the recording was restored, another voice could be faintly heard laughing in the background. The laugh was deep, slow, and far too clear to be static. To this day, the Enfield case remains unsolved. The house stands as quiet testimony to the unknown. And sometimes, when rain drums softly on the windows, people say they still hear the tapping 3 times, just like before.